Alright, so let's go ahead and take it out for a drive. Let me just show you really cool this cool animation it does. So it does show the GR badging that comes onto the screen. So it is a unique startup for this model. But with that being said, let's put it into drive, which is very straightforward, and down, and let's take it out for a ride. Now, this model here features a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder connected to a 22.7 kilowatt hour electric motor at the rear, producing 324 horsepower. And unfortunately, Toyota does not give you the full amount of pound-feet of torque that you get for it, but it should be roughly around that same equivalent in terms of horsepower. But it also can drive in full electric mode around 48 total mileage of range, which is pretty cool. In terms of overall combined MPG, when you use the electric portion and the gas, you're going to be looking at 86 combined highway and city driving. And when you're looking at just using the gas portion, you're going to be looking around 36 MPG. So keep that in mind. Pretty cool overall vehicle. I like the fact that this is more than just a badge that they slapped onto it, cosmetics. It actually gets performance enhancements like the front suspension, the front brake calipers, the rear spoiler at the back. It looks amazing. Let's go ahead and take it out for a ride. So even in electric mode, which is pretty sick that you can use this primarily in electric mode, it's very, very peppy and very quick. These brakes feel phenomenal. There is regen braking going on right now, so whenever you are pressing on the brake, it does feed that friction back into the electric motor for it, which is an added bonus for this model. Right now it's currently in EV mode, but we can switch it over to the HEV mode, where it's going to go ahead and kick on the engine portion of this model. You do have some drive modes that you can select, so let me go ahead and press setup later, decline. So you do have normal, you have eco, you got sport, and also custom. So you can go ahead and customize the steering feel, the suspension, and also the engine. Actually, I don't think it's the suspension. I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, it is the steering, the powertrain, and the air conditioning. So you do have that there for that. You also have a trail and snow mode and a normal mode right over here that you can go ahead and kick it back over. We'll go ahead and actually take it back out and put it into normal mode for the time being. When you look at this interior, you do have GR branding over here on the headrest with the Alcantara down the middle and also the red stitching on the side. Your shift boot is going to be your traditional shifter instead of the little toggle one that they had on the non-GR Sport models, as well as the, I believe XSC gets the little toggle one. This one actually gets a traditional shifter. So setting out over here, the engine actually feels really good. Full all-wheel drive system, so it does help out with traction whenever it is lost. So keep that in mind as well. And you do get some paddle shifters to control that eCVT transmission. So this is an actual eCVT. So this is going to be better than a conventional CVT transmission because it does use the electric motor. All right, so we are going to kick it over into sport mode. And we're going to take it around this corner and let's see how it feels. I'm also going to click the transmission into sport. So wow, that is quick. Insane acceleration. That was actually very, very quick. Holy cow. That is amazing. Wow. That's something that you gotta definitely feel when it comes to driving this vehicle. And of course, you can go ahead and shift the gears you want, but realistically, this is an eCVT, so it's just simulating gear shifts for you. Now, in terms of suspension, even though this is a GR Sport, I will say that even though, I mean, it is a sport tune suspension, it has a really nice rebound to it. You're not gonna feel as bumpy with the suspension, and I like that. Because when it comes to sport tune suspension, typically they do such a horrible job with the rebound in it where it feels stiffer than what it needs to be. And I personally do not like that. I think that is ridiculous. But when we go over here, let's make a turn. Really good turn into that corner. Barely minimal body roll, which is something I really like to see when it comes to a electrified or plug-in hybrid vehicle. Now it is windy over here. This is Homestead, so typically Homestead is a very windy area because there's so much farmland. So there is a lot of wind intrusion that I'm hearing around this section, but that is quite normal when it comes to that. And the little sound you're hearing at the back is the actual plate that's wiggling around back there. But really good interior sound. I mean, I don't hear a lot from the wheels going on, so that is a bonus for me. And I really like these screens. They're not overly exaggerated. I will say there's one thing I don't like is the fact that we have the climate, or I should say the fan speed is actually in the screen rather than being a physical button, because like there's two buttons here that they could have used. Oh my god, the thing over here is thinking that since I have my camera here, it's making it seem like I'm not paying attention, but I really am paying attention. And so, yeah, that's one thing I really don't like, is the fact that, you know, the fan speed is in the screen here instead of it being here. I feel like these little two spots that are just empty could easily be the fan increase and decrease for both the driver and the passenger. Like, it's just super simple to add that button in there, right there. You also get your heated seats and heated steering wheel embedded into the screen, so just keep that in mind. That is like kind of like one thing that's like a caveat for me, at least. I'm not huge on putting climate stuff into the screen. You do have a front and rear defroster button that is physically done there instead of it being into the screen, which I am appreciative of that. But personally, me, I don't like the fact that we have that in the screen. In terms of everything else inside of the cabin space, really nice materials all across here. I like the nice foam design that we get over here on the door section. Your window switch gears are going to be here, which is a very nice placement to go ahead and have your hand or your elbow right here on this padding. And you can easily do the window switch gears here instead of having to like reach down low to reach them on other competitors like the CR-V, for example, has. And a dash layout with the whole entire front windscreen is large and in charge. Like, you have a lot of real estate, and the way that the hood bonnet is kind of formed with those arrow kind of pieces off to the side to give it a more aggressive look actually helps with figuring out where you are going in the middle of the lane, which I appreciate. When a hood is actually flat down the middle, what happens is that you can't really tell exactly as to where your car is pointed in the center of the lane. With this vehicle, you will be able to notice that quite easily. And just like any other new Toyota that's been coming out, this vehicle comes with all of your safety sense as standard. So this is Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, if I'm not mistaken. So it does have the lane centering, the lane keep, distance control, and it does go ahead and keep you in the center lane with just your hands on the steering wheel when you're going around curves on the highway, which is an added bonus. You also have your fuel gauge off to the right and your total state of charge on the left section right there. Right now it's currently in EV mode. So right now the engine is currently off. We're using just the EV portion, which is pretty nice to see. And like I mentioned, 48 miles of range that you can use for this. So if you quickly need to go to maybe Kroger, Publix, or anything like that, you could just put it in EV mode only. It will stay in EV and use that instead of having to use the gas portion, which is something that I really, find cool to have for a vehicle, is just being able to use the electric portion so you don't waste too much gas. Really nice turn in. Man, this thing is quick. This thing is extremely quick. And I mean, when it comes to the brakes, really good bite down. You don't really have to give too much pressure in to go ahead and start slowing this down. This is an impressive CUV. I think it's one of my top CUVs actually in the segment right now. The charging capabilities, the fact that you could plug it in at home, use just the EV range, you don't need to use the gas portion of it. It's actually enough of a vehicle. You don't really realistically need to have, like you go ahead and accelerate. That is so much fun. That is an absolute blast to have. like I was mentioning, you can literally just use the EV portion all the time. If you work close to home, just use the EV portion. You don't have to really kick on the gas version. You can easily just do that, and I think that is just such a pleasant thing to have on a vehicle of this size. Overall, how I feel about this car, it's honestly great power, a lot of torque because of the fact that we have an electric motor, and there's like no lag because of the fact that it's just instant. You get that propulsion from the electric motor, then you get the engine that kicks on out of nowhere, and it just fully propels you forward. And that to me is one of the big things when it comes to this vehicle. I mean, the fact that it could just do that, and it can easily be able to take you from point A to point B with a little bit of flair and a little bit of style is for me. This is a car that would definitely be for me. Now, when it comes to pricing, you're looking roughly around $50,000 for this example that I am test driving right now. So if you are looking for one, you could, of course, choose other plug-in hybrids if you don't like the whole entire sporty or overall design of the GR Sport. But you still get the exact same charging rate, the same amenities. The only difference is you don't get the sport tuned suspension, and you don't get the sport tuned brake calipers for this vehicle. So that is another thing that you gotta take into account if you are looking at the RAV4 plug-in hybrid. All right, so we're gonna keep it in sport mode right now. At a certain amount of speed, the engine will kick on when you are accelerating, so just keep that. There it is, it just turned on. Let's accelerate one more time. Wow, that is absolutely impressive. Once again, I want to give a huge shout out to South Dade Toyota for allowing me to film this vehicle. If you guys are interested in purchasing this Toyota RAV4 or any of their other Toyota vehicles, make sure to go ahead and contact Leo. He'll be able to assist you. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.